Hello and welcome to another episode of Geek-Men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I am Dustin, and normally I would have a co-host who is currently on a side mission. Um, but hopefully we'll see Zombie in a few weeks. Until such time, I have Bump-a-da-bump Humaira. How's it going?
Good. Very good.
All right. So you'll have to forgive us. But yeah. Normally I would go into talking toys, but uh she doesn't have toys. But I will say I taught my kids how to play Magic.
Well, teaching. Babe.
Hey, Zombie, how's it going?
How are we supposed to read that?
He's working, and it's poop.
Oh. Enjoy that.
It's wet here. That's what he said.
It's about to be wet here.
That's what she said.
Yeah, did say that.
Yeah, so anyway, I took upon myself to teach our daughters Magic the Gathering. This lovely, fun card game. I think it's fun. Hey, Jessica, how's it going?
Hello.
And so, I mean, yeah, I think it's fun. What do you think? Did Cadence seem to like it? Katie Cat? Yeah, I think she did.
She asked a lot of questions. She seemed really interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, and got upset when she didn't win. So I'd say she's into it.
She was very frustrated. You guys were playing the green-white deck.
Yeah.
And she loves my rat deck.
Of course she does.
They both do. I think one because it also tickles that weird dark infatuation that they might have. Because they're all creepy cards. They're rats. They're stinky. They're gross. They're all that kind of nasty stuff. And so I think that helped. But they definitely were into it. Seemed to be Katie Cat more than Smiley Riley. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't want to force it on them. So I want them to be into it because, they like it. But I'm also hoping that they don't want us to just buy into Pokemon cards or some other card game because I have so many Magic cards.
So many. Lorcana is
Lorcana, yeah. It looks interesting.
It just looks like a bad idea.
Well, yeah, but so was what was that other game we played, Force of Will?
Mm-hmm.
That pretty much just fizzled after a few months because the game got broken and they didn't know how to fix it. And so they just nothing ever really happened with it. But yeah. Yes. Gotta make them their own decks and teach them how to use them. That's pretty much what I did with the one deck that I had. That's what they really seem to like. So I wanted to sit down with them and see what exactly they would be interested in and show them a creature and get them interested in that way. So that's my to-do for tomorrow or something.
I think you have to start with a 60 card deck. Less cards to shuffle, less daunting.
Yeah, but they seem to handle it just fine. And I'd rather teach them EDH because that way they're commander. That way they're still familiar with the format and ready to go. And that way, we could take them to tournaments and stuff if they are truly interested. Because they do have um, at our local shop, Freedom, they do Commander on Fridays. It's a free event um, for anyone who might be watching. Um, they do that. It's used to be on Freedom, but now it's on what's that road called? Whipple?
Portage.
Portage. Yeah, it's on Portage. So oh, she says hi. Well, there it goes. Hi, zombie. And yes, and here's the other comment. Yes, I do plan to do that. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow or something. We'll see how it goes. But I mean, I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm getting excited just talking about it, thinking about it, and it's like, ooh, I'm so excited. But it's like I want to go all gun ho, but it's like, no. I need to step back and let them come to the realization that it is the original trading card game, and it's like it's what all the other games are based on. They all sort of try to incorporate a little bit of that magic into their game, whichever it ends up being. But I digress. So yes, that was what I did the last couple days.
Very exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't have time to come down and open up any toys like Mikey or Leonardo, or which I still like these poses. I love them. And whenever he's posed like this, and I'm Raphael. That's what I'm hearing when he stands up and he's just like, and I'm Raphael. Yeah, it's what I hear when I'm doing that. And
I want pizza.
and of course Donatello's like, you really want to try that? But yes, I know I would love some pizza. We should get pizza sometime. Wow. Oh wait, yeah, no. You should have asked for that for your birthday. Pizza. No, I think what we're having is going to be better.
Yeah.
Very exciting. All right, so there's not a whole lot other thing. I mentioned my comics that I got last week. Hall of Omens. Again, if you haven't seen it yet, go check this interview out. I will throw up the Thundercats toy guide here one more time. Go check it out. They will run out of these at some point. They've set back a few for the shows that they're going to be doing over the next few months, but beyond that, they will run out. And this is just such a valuable and useful, fun guide that's full of nostalgia, and it's just amazing. And it's so much fun. And that one's mine. You can't have it. But yes.
Maybe for the right price. No.
He says, happy birthday, Pumira.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's going to be on May 1st. And yours is April 1st. We got an April Fool's baby and almost April baby.
Mayday.
But yeah, a Mayday who was born in May. And
April who was born in May.
Can you imagine how insane it would be to have your birthday be on Star Wars Day?
Dude, we could push it. I could change my birth certificate.
Right. Right. I think we should. I think we
Yeah.
should. It's either that or maybe I should change my birthday to 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 the 4th, but I don't know.
Let's just push it.
August 25th is just so
Random.
I've been saying that out there for so long that it's like, you know, we would probably change it, and I would be like, "What's your birthday?" And I'm like, and then they would think I was having like a seizure or something, and then they would be like, "Oh, you need a crash cart," blah blah blah, and all this other stuff. So, and May 10th, okay, and
Well,
what?
happy early birthday.
Yeah, I'm claiming October 31st. Yes, right?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Zombie coming in with the win for the choices
Yeah.
of birthday. Dude, and it's so much better because like and I know that's like aligns with his it's like his spirit animal in any rate, but it's just so like he's so Halloween oriented, and it's just like, but his birthday is in April. It's just like,
Spring. Fun colors.
yeah, but those are fun colors, not the colors that are in our soul. Like that one
Right.
girl was saying on, it's the color of my soul
Yeah. Halloween's in
on
my
what was it,
soul.
TikTok or
Yeah.
Instagram or
TikTok.
something? Yeah,
Halloween's in my soul.
yeah, it's always Halloween in my soul.
Yeah.
And Jessica says my middle one was almost born October 31st, but he decided to come after midnight. That's
Oh
when you just push
man.
them back up in there and be like, no, you're waiting.
You can't. The
Oh,
baby's
you're
coming.
telling me you can't. You can easily smudge a birthday. Just suck it in and hold it for a little bit longer. Oh yeah, it's possible.
Not if the
I know
hole's
it's
big
possible.
enough.
Oh boy. But okay, so let's get into these movies. We'll just plow first movie. We will make sure that's off. And first movie, Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon. All right. Rebel Moon, and that was uh a child of fire. A child of fire. So that sort of sets up the story. And to get a little backstory on this, this was Zack Snyder's vision for what would have been um a Star Wars trilogy. And he approached Disney and they were like, man, no, I don't really want that. And so he's like, all right, fine, I'll go play in my own sandbox, and took it to Netflix, and they're like, yes, love it, want it. And I think they gave us a pretty good movie, all in all.
I'd watch it again.
I only got to watch the first one, didn't have time to get to the second one yet. Yes. Well, okay, so the first one, it felt I had to keep reminding myself that this is a trilogy, hopefully, of movies. And the other good thing is they are releasing a rated R version of these movies in this summer on Netflix. So that's another good thing, because they're going to wait and see how the reception is of that, and then they'll move ahead with the third one, and or any more. But some early reports that I've seen have said that okay, so the first movie had its own like following. Not all of them came back to watch the second one, and I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, but how long was it the how long was the first one out, and when did they cut off the counter? Like it was out for a month, before they cut off the counter and be like, okay, this is how we expect it to happen. But so it's not the same as the second one, because they said not everyone came back that watched the first one came back for the second one. So I'm wondering if that's just like, I didn't think it was very well advertised. They did not like broadcast it. They don't have a platform to, I suppose, because most people's Netflixes are still commercial free, right?
Mhm.
But I don't know.
I
Anyway,
saw one on YouTube, an ad for it on YouTube.
yeah. So I mean, they did push it a little bit, but I didn't feel like it was the as heavily as they did the first one. But Zombie says the first one felt very Seven Samurai-ish to me, which is not a bad thing. And I would have to agree. I would have to agree with that. It did feel very Seven Samurai-ish. Had captured that feel. Sort of a loner on the outside of things, and then they have to come together and stuff. So it's I see where that's going, and like I said, I had to remind myself that it is multiple movies. So when the second one came out, I was just like, oh heck yeah. I went and immediately watched it, and I was just like, yes, this is good. It wasn't the first day, but it was within that first weekend. So um I enjoyed the second one too, but we'll get to that in a minute. So yes, it felt very Seven Samurai-ish to me. Not a bad thing. You know what else feels like Seven Samurai-ish? Shogun, which was very good in my opinion. Looking forward to talking about that. Why don't we talk about it now? But anyway, what did you think about Rebel Moon?
Oh, the scenery, the imagination of everybody putting it together, the creatures, everything, and the story, obviously.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
yeah, I thought it was interesting, and yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean the the horse thing that they had was it wasn't it was more like a horse or maybe a bull, but I don't know. It was more a horse, I think. But
With a mask and a short tail.
well, yeah, but yeah, I thought that was fun. Okay, so one of the things that I noticed about this movie in the promo images, almost every single poster that I saw for the first one all had the main chick, I don't know her name, I'm terrible with names, had her her scythe on her back, and her blade was hanging down, and it was very much like just like cool shock like image, and so that was interesting. But yeah, um okay, yeah, so Seven Samurai has inspired a bunch of movies and novels. Farming village needed protection from a large outside force to help from strong fighters. It was almost play for play.
Mm.
And yes, I would agree with that. And yeah, anyway, what was oh yeah. So they all had that image of her with the scythe as the promo image for the first one. But as you're watching it, you're watching it, you're watching it, it never, they never take out the scythe in the first one to bring down the hay or wheat or barley or whatever the heck it is that they're growing. They're never shucking down their product, so to speak. But that was the teaser image for the first one. Now, for the second one, they finally, you actually see them use this. It's just like, oh, okay. Now I get it.
Well, she is on a farm. It is a
but
farming village, so
and it's a farming tool, but you didn't see it in any scene. That was my point.
Really?
In the first one, you didn't see it in any scene. They never
they're
full
sowing
out.
seeds at the beginning.
Yeah,
they're
they just
planting.
talked about it. Yeah,
okay.
Because she had the cow thing, and she was pulling it.
Yeah, hoeing.
Yes,
Whatever.
the automaton in the first movie. He is their 7th fighter to join the team, and yes, I agree. Dude, I loved that like droid thing, whatever the heck they want to call it. The automaton, the droid, the thing, and it's just so like, okay, so it's so awesome that they have it voiced by Anthony Hopkins, because he is the all father type figure, and he's just like, yeah, we, you hear him telling the story of the Child of Fire and all this stuff, and he's like, how their the royalty was wiped out, and that's when they laid down their weapons and refused to fight. And it wasn't until at some point in the first movie that he decides to take action in just shooting one of the bad guys that was trying to force themselves on the one village girl. And so I thought that was really interesting. And it's like, yeah, all right, cool, he's gonna fight. And you see him adorned with different like leaves and stuff like that, because they had obviously, dandelions and stuff that they had decorated him with. And then he finally appears in the second movie, and it's like, okay, cool, we're gonna see some action and whatnot, and we didn't yet. It's coming though. It's coming, and I can't wait for it. What did you think of the second one?
Goodness, it went by too fast. Not a lot happened. I mean, a lot happened in a short amount of time. I wish they would have spent more time. I don't know. I feel like it was rushed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can see how you felt that way. It did sort of like, it builds to a point, and then it's like once things start hitting the fan, they needed to get to it.
Yeah.
There was no turning back at that point. So yeah,
it just was a quick ending. But we did learn a lot more about the main character's history and how she got there, and learned that they kept her drop ship, or
her ship that she crashed in.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny, because I'm like, they're pulling it out and it doesn't look like it's that badly damaged, and there's nothing to really fix on it. And she's just like, flick, 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 flick. Okay, boom, power up. It's like, all right, good to go. Just like, after all these years.
2 years. Only 2.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Still, I wouldn't expect
a car. To do that with Right. If you try to do that with a car, you're no.
Right. I
I
mean,
couldn't start the
well, okay,
Corolla
okay.
after.
To be fair, she did spend time cleaning crap out of the engine. She was pulling weeds and things like that out of the engine and throwing them on the ground, and then it was like, okay, but that was pretty much the extent of it. I mean, I suppose you wouldn't want a majority of the movie of them like working on the
Yeah, yeah,
ship.
yeah, yeah.
So I get why they just sort of breezed through that, but
Mhm.
it would have been nice to have to overcome. Okay, cool. So here's one part of our plan, but try a lawnmower not running after just 4 months. Right. Exactly. I don't know.
My
So
part.
right, that's how it was with our first lawnmower. Anyway, but I digress. So, like I said, I wouldn't want to have personally watched them toil over this ship not working or having to fix stuff. It's better that they had split up and apparently fixed things on the ship beforehand to prepare in getting ready for it. Because it was clearly there was time from they had to, what was it, 5 days?
Eight.
They're like, yeah, 5 days we'll be there, or what was it? You said eight? Eight.
Uh-huh. 8.
Okay, so yeah, so we'll be there in 8 days, and then, but then he came back and said, okay, well, yeah, we'll be there in 5 days, and he just like, oh crap, and then they had to like double time, and there was no funky 80s montage. Bummer, but considering it's a movie that we watched on this channel, it's surprising that it didn't, but I'm glad it didn't. I don't think it would have fit. I don't think a James Gunn type thing where they play some funky music track and they're all like jamming as they are bouncing around this thing preparing the ship. Yeah, I don't think that would have worked either. So I think it was in good taste in that they just sped through that and implied that things were being done when we hadn't actually seen it happen. That's one of the things about showing versus telling. And, you know, it's tough to balance, especially as a filmmaker, um, and or as a writer, knowing what details you need to show and what details, you
Are
know,
implied.
yeah, are implied. It's a very fine line that takes a lot for people to find what they're comfortable with. Because it's drilled into us from day one in writing class that it's like show don't tell, show don't tell. But there was a lot of what's called information dumping, um to sort of catch the audience up to what they should know, even for it being the second movie. So if they had actually shown all of these things prior in like chronological order, then that would have put the first Rebel Moon um off balance, because they had to play catch up in both films, because each time she's narrating and giving a recap, okay, telling someone who's like, okay, well, this is the reason, she's all reluctant, this is the reason I did this is the reason I did that, and then they've spaced it out to where it's not one big chunk of information, so that was good. But after the weird operatic thing in his Justice League cut, I'm kind of surprised, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I get that, but I enjoyed the Justice League film. Say what you want, haters. I don't care. But that's the thing about a space submarine opens up with a space submarine coming out of a space warp portal that looked like hoo-ha, like a hoo-ha. Which one? The second one or the first one?
The first one. He didn't watch the second yet.
Oh, right. Right.
It did. And then
I'm
that's when
trying to
they
picture
looked up,
that.
and it does look like a space submarine.
Space submarine. Huh.
And then that's when she noticed that they had company when she looked up. And that's when she rang the bell.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there, but okay. I don't know.
At the
I'm
opening
forgetting.
of the movie. At the
Yeah,
opening
I know.
of the movie.
It is what it is. I'll have to rewatch it just to see if that is the exact thing what I thought, but I'm not recalling that. I may have been like looking down at my phone or something trying to post like, hey, I'm watching this movie now, because I like to post that when I'm watching a movie on my Instagram. So it may have been while I was doing that I missed this said hoo-ha.
Very important.
It is. But anyway, just wait until you see the second one. And it's like he's like being birthed again.
Oh, yes.
Well, I think they showed it a little bit at the end of the first one, but
yeah, because
they
knew
do
he lived.
recap that scene at the beginning of the second one. So spoiler alert there, but yeah.
What's the time difference between the first one and the second one?
I thought it was immediate.
All that stuff couldn't have grown on him in that tank so fast.
Grown?
Yeah, like the webs and stuff they had to pull off of him.
That was like amniotic fluid that they pulled off of him. It wasn't like spider webs.
Sure it was.
No, it wasn't.
It just seems like it wouldn't have been so immediate. That's all.
Well, they took him from where he fell in the first one, and then they shot him up.
Put him on a ship.
I can't be in here. I can't be here in person, but I'm still dealing the show from the nosebleeds. Mic drop. Yeah, I know, right? Derailing the show. But I don't know. I forget what I was saying.
They took him from where he fell onto the ship. Then he got hooked up to all these machines.
Hooked up
all
to the
those
machines.
Little scars.
Yeah. Those were like the Matrix things where it's the little suckers that like they port into your body, and they're at vital points in your body to work your neurological chemicals and whatnot. Space mumbo jumbo. So they rocket him up to this ice world where he sees. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah, they just recapped that in the second one.
Yeah,
that's what I was basically saying.
Yeah.
But so they do that. They just sort of recap that at the second one, and it's expands on it, and they're just like, "Oh, I'm good to go," But yeah, yep, all on the same page. And yeah.
Too bad he lived.
I know. Well, so like I said, they took him immediately from where he fell onto the ship, and then I think it was maybe like a couple months, if anything.
Yeah. Okay.
It was very
quick
amount of time. Like they were like, oh well, normally when an admiral's killed, they have to go back to the homeworld.
Yeah, they can't continue with their mission.
Right. They have to go back to the homeworld and appoint a new general or admiral or whatever. And she's like, what? Why didn't they do that? And he's like, I'm not dead. And they just immediately just sort of came down from the ship and was like, bloop, and like was full on like kicking faces in and stuff. So right up in your face. So that's why it's like, and they're like, oh, and by the way, since you did all that naughty stuff to me, I'm gonna do this stuff to you. And now you're really in trouble. You know, like we were gonna be merciful before, but now
Yeah, right.
all bets are off, I suppose. But yeah.
They spent all that time getting the wheat processed, cut, processed, and all that into flour, and then it was gone. All of
that. Yes. Spankings for everyone with his stupid fist cane that he, or no, it was just like a femur looking bone that he was walking around with. Yes, I'm going to stick this where the sun doesn't shine. Ha ha ha. But yeah, he was not playing around the second time around. I mean, plus he still had all the memories from the potential uprising / threat of them forming this team. But I know. I want one too, but you know what I want more? I want those freaking plasma swords that they had.
Yeah.
That were like sort of lightsabers, but not. They were just as deadly as lightsabers, but I don't know. The plasma rifle thing was, the plasma gun things were really cool too. Yeah. The things that they were shooting plasma, because they said plasma. How did you survive all the plasma? And he's just like, oh, he's just brushing it off. And the automaton robot thing. And it's just like, yeah. He was built like that.
How did he get the antlers?
I assume someone, the girl from the first one, put them on him.
The antlers.
Yeah. Had to have. She was the only one that was really interested in the robot. Plus, I imagine her, who was just saved from being raped by those dudes, was like, hey, you know what? We'll give you a crown. You know, like.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Rest in peace, Spider-Woman. I don't know. I'm not sure what that reference is. Still there?
Yeah.
From the first movie. Do you understand what he's talking about? The first movie?
Okay. Spider-Woman from the
Rest in peace, Spider-Woman.
Oh, yes. That ugly lady. who took a human
Oh,
captive.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Gross. Yes. No. Good riddance.
I was thinking like Spider-Woman, the girl, like Spider-Man type counterpart that they have in Marvel Universe. And yeah,
Yeah.
kidnapped the girl and killed off with my plasma swords. I know, right? So that was awesome. Okay, so let me get this straight. This chick had never shed blood until she's all sad about her kids being gone
Mm-hmm.
and cuts her own freaking arms off. Then reaches in and grabs that bionic thing and attaches it to her wrists.
Okay. Okay. I know who you're talking about
Yeah,
now. Yes.
she's the
Okay.
weird spider chick with the
Asian. No,
Asian with
that's
the
not the
with the
same.
eye
That's not the
tattoo makeup.
same girl.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know she's the one that killed
Yes.
the
Yes.
Spider Woman
Yes.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I need to take a drink. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how she got her second arm cut off by herself. If she
she just maybe set it down
Oh,
and then
maybe
screwed it
the
on.
other hand was still holding it, and then she used the one that
Yeah.
was already cut off to.
Yeah, that she just it's like, all right. But
I didn't get that party.
no. No, you're all good. Spider Woman, not Spider Woman. All right. Yeah.
We got it.
I get it now, but I didn't at the time. I was thinking because I mean, I also just watched that one terrible movie, Madam Web. So that was still kicking around in my head, and I'm thinking like, wait, she wasn't in that, was she? Like, no. All right, so we're all on the same page and all that. So it's all straightened out. uh, okay, plasma swords. Um, boo. All right. Well, anyway. I forgot what I was saying.
Plasma swords. Where can we buy one? How can we make one? And are they legal?
Yeah, I don't think they'd be legal. I'd rather have a lightsaber.
Well, yeah.
I know they're similar to lightsabers, but I would personally rather have a lightsaber because I feel like I understand that technology. I've been studying it for I've been studying it half my life. So
All
I
right.
feel like
Okay.
okay, yeah, I'm comfortable with a lightsaber, but it's basically the same thing. And the plasma sword thing, I don't know. It's being silly, but still, I don't know.
Plasma sword, you could just turn on and use it. Lightsaber, you have to learn its ways. It'll be hard.
I don't know. Well, of course, I then I just need to basically take that girl's cybernetic hands and put them on her because she said she learned shit from the cybernetic hand things that helped her with all of her kung fu stuff that she was whipping around.
Right, right.
And it's just like, oh, I wasn't always this much of a badass. It's help with these things. It's just like, okay. So they have some sort of memory that and or a hatred that would helped fuel her in her quest for vengeance. Right. If a stormtrooper can use a lightsaber, I think Justin could handle it. Yeah.
Hey.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. I
Well, as long as it's not the dark saber, we're good.
Yeah, well,
Is that different than a regular lightsaber?
it's supposed to be heavier or feel heavier
Right. That's what
to
I'm
people
talking
who
about.
are even trained in the Force, but that's a whole nother conversation. Yes, not interested in the 50 Shades of Web, right?
No, no,
And
no. I'm glad her babies weren't allowed to hatch.
oh,
They took her eggs.
yeah, but you have to wear that hat when you use it. Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, well, dude, okay, so I already have like a getup in mind. I feel very much
Prepared.
blended into this weird sort of okay, I'm influenced by cowboys, obviously, but I like the way that Japanese, Chinese, Asian type their
Clothing.
apparel. So I already have like a full like wardrobe planned. If I could have my way, I would have bought all this stuff already, but I would have it blended with other things. Like so I would have like a kimono, but I would also have a belt. Belts are useful for hanging lightsabers on. So okay, I'm going off on a rant here, but it's I did design a suit for you in the way of an action figure. Yes, yes, you did. And I have it right here. I'd like to get that helmet.
Don't break it.
And yeah, so I would definitely do that. And I don't know. I'm getting off topic here again, but so I would have a kimono and stuff like that, but I would have like the undersuit would be sort of like a flight suit, so that way I could also just pop on my helmet and be good to go. And yay! So I know it's silly, but that's what I would do. And I'm definitely a dork. I almost said a gork, which is just as equally.
Geek and a dork.
Yeah, a gork. That's a new. We're the Gork Men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. But anyway, I don't know. That is the show, so to speak. I don't. Do you have anything you want to add? Thoughts, movies, hopes for the third one, etc.
Do you think where the main character came from, would they ever, like her home planet, would they ever forgive her because it wasn't her fault that she was made to kill the royal family?
Say that one more time. You cut out on me a little bit.
Okay, so do you think the main character would ever be forgiven by her home planet where she came from, as far as, being made to kill the royal family? Do you think they'll ever forgive her and let her come back? Or do you think she'll stay where she's at?
Well, I personally think that the next movie is they know that princess is still alive. So I imagine she will end up
In some way, though, we don't know.
it,
Because her body
yes,
was killed.
killed, but you know that she had that power to sort of like
Yeah, heal.
heal, or she could have reincarnated somehow, maybe as
Oh,
another person or in another person, or was reborn, but hard to say. but I imagine she will be like, yes, I am the princess of whatever, and I pardon you. I think she'll end up getting a pardon in the end. But that's one thing that I'm excited about. One, I'm hoping for less backstory about why they all got into it. I would like to know. I was actually wanting to know more about some of the other characters, like the ninja lightsaber chick. But we learned about her, and I just wanted to get to know more about some of the other characters at that point. But now I think it's going to be like, okay, they're joining forces. They're going to get that robot automaton dude, and they're going to go and kick some butt and take down all the douchebaggery that's heading up the castle and up the chain. So I think it's going to be like all out war.
Probably.
So he says, well, the Empire or whatever isn't her real family or homeworld. She said her family was all killed, but she was spared.
Mm-hmm.
And that's revealed not to be true in the second movie.
No, you're right. You're right, because she was trained in the military because yes, you're right. Right.
Well,
but I think she still would feel better if she got forgiven. But I mean, the princess already had forgiven her.
Yeah, so. She already said, "I forgive you."
That's not
and
enough.
It's just like, yeah, but I'm sure there'll be some sort of validation after the fact, like, oh no, that's dumb. But anyway, I started to have a thought, but then I'm like, nah, that's dumb, and I'm just gonna quash it and not talk about it, even though I'm talking about it now. You read that wrong, unless and that.
Yeah. Unless it was proven to be untrue.
Okay. Unless that, okay. Which I don't think it was.
That's not her real family.
Well, I know it's not a real family because she was adopted.
Yeah.
So we saw at the end of the first one that the adopted dude who took her in was still alive. That was at the very end of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So he hasn't seen the second one, so he's just reminding us again. Yes. So I think that's all still true. So they did say that all of her family was killed. She was the only one spared. And so as far as I'm
she was
aware,
sucked into the military.
Yeah. Because the admiral type dude, the leader, said, hey, you join us and we're going to wreck some face, I guess. Something, I don't know. But yeah. I'm hopeful for the third one. I'm looking forward to it. Griffin. How cool was that griffin in the first movie? It was a griffin.
What's a griffin?
It's like a cat with wings. Or something with wings. I'm not recalling specifically what that was. I'm apparently going to have to go back and watch these movies again, even though I just watched them. Because everything that you've pointed out has been like, was it? I don't remember. So it just shows that my short-term memory is much. We just rewatched it. We just watched it.
Yeah, this past week.
So Saturday. Because I said, okay, well, so Zombie isn't going to be able to, he's going to be on a side quest this week. You want to watch these movies with me? So we watched the first one Saturday, and then we watched the second one Sunday afternoon.
When was the Griffin in the first? Like, what was the Griffin doing in the first? When did
He wasn't
that
humping
appear?
a lady Griffin, was he?
No, we would have remembered that.
Yeah, I imagine so. That would be pretty weird. Like, oh man, look at those two Griffins getting it on.
Like, was it in the flashback? Was it in the real time? Like, because I don't.
No, it wasn't Netflix and chill. We don't do that.
Oh, yes, we did.
We don't do that. You're in your chair and I'm in my chair. There's nothing happening. All right?
Well, yeah. We have children.
Yeah. So it wasn't Netflix and chill. But yeah. I'm not remembering the Griffin. Screw this. I'm just gonna Google it. Google.com. Griffin.
In Rebel
Moon. Oh, dude. Okay. The freaking bird that dude has to tame. That was the Griffin.
Oh, yes, he's adorable.
I was thinking that weird,
her.
like, mystical creature that was like part cat, part eagle type thing.
Oh, yeah. To get him to come with him,
yeah.
He had to tame that to pay off his debt. Okay. Yes.
Which he didn't end up actually fully taming because
nope. She had some dinner.
Crap out of that dude.
Yeah. I think it was a girl. Yeah, female bird. Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been.
Because he's like, go easy on her, and she had some dinner.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Literally a griffin. Yes. Well, like I said, I confused
what you were saying.
When you said griffin, I immediately started thinking of the griffin that was like in the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, where it's like part cat, part lion thing, and it's just like that's what I originally thought. And of course, my Magic the Gathering kicked in and was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's a griffin, I think." But yeah,
yes, love that part. Gave me chills when he was able to actually tame her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So it's a manticore. Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was having. You said griffin, and I immediately thought manticore, and that's just where my brain associated. I was just like, "There's a griffin," but yes, no, I'm on the same page. So yeah, dude. That scene was so cool, and oh man. Like I said, I was super excited when she came back, landed, and she ate that dude. It was just like, yeah, dude.
That's what you get.
Get it.
Too bad he couldn't take the money and run. That he. Oh well.
He's over here laughing his ass off, apparently.
Good. You need some entertainment.
Right? Side quests for you. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, that is our show. We actually put in a full hour. So movies for next week. I'm gonna just do something easy because April and I have both watched these movies or will watch at some point. Let's say The Bricklayer on Netflix, and The Thing, which is currently still on Tubi. But I believe it's going to be leaving in the next few days. So watch that one first. Then we can figure out a Bricklayer for later. Bricklayer, The Thing. Has Wilford Brimley and the snake, the Kurt Russell. I was having
gonna
trouble.
say Kurt Russell.
Yeah. And all that. So that's the docket for next week. And I will post that later, and we will have a good old grand time. Hopefully, I don't think Zombie will be back because he's still going to be on a side quest, but I'm sure either Prumira will join us or someone else will. Sure, at some point. All right. Well, until next time, Thunder Nerds ho.